Welcome back. When I was turning the graduation hat last week, I got to thinking about how I could incorporate some round pieces in with a square piece of wood. So here's what I came up with. I made this art piece. It's walnut and maple. Let's go ahead and get started. The wood shop is sponsored by ChefwareKits and Easy Wood Tools. But let me give you a kind of an idea of what I was thinking when I was turning the hat. So I just thought it would be cool to make an art piece and just the contrast from the square to round. So there's a couple different things I had in mind. These pieces are from the Captain America clock. You could, do different patterns and shapes. I did the two because I wasn't quite sure, but you could even do something like if you were doing a big a wall piece, you could hook them together. Put them, any way you want to hook them together, and I thought that would be cool. And obviously, and then fill the centerpiece in with maybe a piece of walnut or another contrasting woods. And I even was thinking about, just like I did the flying saucer, I thought it would be cool to make a wall piece, but it was an accent light. So if you took a solid piece here and just put a tenon on it and raised it off of the piece like that, and then used LED lights, and the light would shine out all the way around and hang it on the wall, I thought that would be cool. Yeah, you could, and these don't have to be square. You could actually do a triangle if you wanted to do some different shapes. But I was just kind of messing around with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do one to just kind of show you the offset. But what I'm going to do is put this on there, true it up on center, and then I'm also going to drill with my Forstner bit, and I'm going to off center it so that when I put it back on there, it brings it out so I can cut that curve for this shape. So I'm going to put this on the lathe, true it up, clean it all up, make the sides all parallel so it fits in there and glues together nice. But I'm going to off center it just about like that, and then I may take a scrap of the walnut and put it in there, but I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. But I'm going to sink it down in there, and that'll look good. I'm just marking center on them, so I'm going to off center it this way to the side. So I actually need to find center here too. So when I drill in with the Forstner bit, it's coming out this way. And if you want to hook two of them together on the points, you would just offset it this way. Okay, I just mounted my piece of maple in here. I put the little tabs in, just expanded it to hold onto it. I'm going to clean the face up just a little bit and then come down here and make the wall parallel. I don't want it this thick for final thickness, so I'm just going to come down probably about halfway and make sure the wall's parallel, so when I glue it all together, it looks nice. So I'll do that, and then I'll move the pads to the outside and clean up the inside too. And just one other thing, on the jaws like this, their max RPMs are 800, so keep it under that. Okay, I have that one ready to go. I'm going to start out with the center one and just true up the face of it. I'm not going to bring down the thickness very much until afterwards. If I want to do it, I'll do it from the back side, and then there's my off-center hole. Okay, I have it mounted in the center hole. Just going to come across here with the large scraper and clean the face up. Okay, that looks pretty good there. I'm going to bring the tool rest over just a little bit and clean up the tips. And the reason I'm doing this, bringing the tool rest out here, is once you get to this point here, you're cutting a lot of air, and it's really easy for that tool to go in and take a big gouge out or cut. So I'm using my hand. You see me sliding my hand down it, and that's what I'm going to do out here too. Is once you get past there, just kind of use your hand to brace it down the tool rest so you can stay parallel with it. Okay, I just sanded it with 100 grit to level it out. So once I get it all together, I'm going to put it back in the center hole and sand it again. I took my pencil and made a couple of reference lines around it, so I know right where to put it on the tool rest, and then I'll work out from there, because I think it's a little bit bigger than that. So we'll get it down though. So I'm just going to come in and make a couple shallow cuts with the parting tool, and then we'll start removing some of the material. Okay, that is really close. I think I could actually just clamp that together and it would go. I'm gonna bring the depth down probably about into here. What I wanna do is put a little bit of detail in this centerpiece here and kind of round over the edge. So I want the walnut or the maple sunk down in there, you know, probably up to there. All right, I finally have it done. It's just taking little bits off of each of them until you can get it to fit. I'm gonna go ahead and glue it together now, and then I'll let it sit up for about an hour, and then I'll turn the maple, and I think I'm gonna do a little bit of detail in here too. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of detail right there in the center, and I've been running this whole thing off center at right at 300 RPMs. Other than that, it starts to wobble. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and keep sanding it, and it's a lot of hand sanding, so I'm not gonna bore you with that, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get it cleaned up, and then we'll get a finish on it. Okay, I sanded it up to 600. It just took forever. I had to do all this out here by hand, but I'm just gonna put a wipe-on poly on it. I took the air compressor and blew all the dust out of the pores. So let's pour some of this on. There we go, the finish is all dry. I had a lot of fun with this project. I think you can get really creative with something like this. I really want to try tying two pieces in together and doing some accent lights too. I think that would be neat. If you do something similar, I would love to see it, and you can always share your pictures on my website. It's thewoodshop.tv. And I did do a long version for this, so it's over on my Q&A channel if you want to go check that out. And when I was finishing up, I was thinking about the wall light, and Peter Brown did a video not too long ago. He epoxied some sprinkles into a really thin epoxy resin, and I think that would be neat. I epoxied some BBs into a cup I was just messing around, but I never did anything with it. But I was thinking if you did like a thin layer of BBs just in a thin resin and then made that into an accent light, and the light would shine through that, and I think that looked cool. But all right, if this is your first time here, I have a new project video every Friday. And as always, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.